Let's step back and look at what you've learned and why it matters so much for everything that comes next. You've spent this entire module inside Competency 6, listens actively. And if you're feeling like there's a lot to hold, you're right, because listening at this level isn't simple. It's not passive. It's actually the most engaged skill you'll ever develop as a coach. So here's the thing about active listening. It's not just one competency among 8. It's the foundation that powers everything else. Think about it. You cannot evoke awareness in your client if you haven't truly heard what's beneath the surface of their words. You cannot facilitate meaningful growth if you're only catching part of the message. And you certainly can't maintain presence if your mind is racing ahead to your next question instead of staying with what's right in front of you. Every competency that comes after this one depends on your ability to listen at this level. You can see the ICF definition on your screen. Focuses on what the client is and is not saying to fully understand what is being communicated in the context of the client's systems and to support client self-expression. Let that sink in. This definition is your North Star. Notice what it says. You're listening to what they're saying and what they're not saying. You're doing this within the context of their whole world and the purpose to support their self-expression. Not so you can fix them, not so you can give great advice, so they can hear themselves more clearly. Let's walk through what you've learned. 6 markers that bring this competency to life. First, listen with context. Remember, your client doesn't walk into a session as a blank slate. Their whole world is in the room with them. Their identity, their environment, their experiences, their values, all of it shapes what they're telling you. Second, reflect the essence, not the content. This is where we talked about the anti-parroting rule. Your job isn't to repeat back what they said. It's to capture the meaning underneath those words. Third, recognize when there's more. Sometimes what's unsaid is louder than what's said. When you notice there's something beneath the surface, inquire with curiosity. Now, the next 3. Fourth, notice, acknowledge, and explore. All 3 steps matter. A lot of coaches stop at noticing. Some get to acknowledging. But the real learning happens in the exploration phase. Don't skip it. Fifth, integrate the full message. Words are only part of what your client is communicating. Tone tells you something. Body language tells you something. The complete story lives in all of those channels together. And 6th, track patterns across sessions. This is the long view. When you're working with someone over time, you start to notice themes that emerge. Bringing those patterns to your client can create breakthrough moments they couldn't access on their own. What I want you to see is how these skills connect. They're not 6 separate checkboxes. Context informs what you hear. When you reflect essence, you invite deeper exploration. Exploration reveals patterns you might never have seen otherwise. And patterns, when you bring them to the client, create breakthrough moments. It's all connected. Each marker builds on the others. This isn't a collection of isolated skills. It's an integrated practice. And that integration, that's where mastery lives. Before we move on, let me name 2 traps I see coaches fall into. First, thinking listening is passive. It's not. Active listening is the most dynamic, engaged skill you possess as a coach. Your whole being is working when you're listening well. Second, believing you already know how to listen. Here's the truth. Even the most experienced coaches discover new dimensions of listening throughout their careers. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I'm still learning. This is a lifelong practice. Mastery deepens over time with intentional practice, curiosity, and humility. And that's okay. That's part of what makes this work so rich. So now that you know how to listen deeply, what do you do with what you hear? That's exactly where we're headed next. Module 6, evoking awareness. This is where you'll learn to use powerful questions that unlock new perspectives. You'll learn how to offer challenges that stretch your clients' thinking beyond their familiar patterns. And you'll discover how to create insights that help your clients find what they could not find alone. This is where coaching becomes truly transformative. See you there.